Imagine for a moment the endless hum of modern life, the constant notifications on your phone, the pressure to perform at work, the silent anxiety that creeps in when you finally lie down to rest. In this world of overwhelming complexity, we are taught to seek equally complex solutions. When our health falters, we are shuffled through sterile clinics, handed prescriptions with unpronounceable names, and told to put our faith in technologies that often feel cold and impersonal. We spend fortunes on creams that promise to erase time, pills that vow to restore energy, and procedures that offer a quick fix. Yet so many of us still feel tired, achy, and disconnected from our own bodies. Now, what if I told you that one of the most profound healing tools available to you isn't found in a high-tech lab or a gleaming pharmacy, but is likely sitting in the back of your bathroom cabinet or kitchen pantry, humble and forgotten? What if the key to alleviating chronic pain, restoring vibrant hair, and even calming a perpetually stressed mind was a thick golden oil, so ancient that its use was documented on medical papyri in the time of the pharaohs? This isn't a hypothetical question. It's an invitation to rediscover a secret that has been hiding in plain sight for millennia. We're talking about castor oil. Yes, the same stuff your grandmother might have sworn by. But its story is far richer and more powerful than you can imagine. Ancient Egyptians used it not only as a potent lamp fuel, but also as a therapeutic elixir to protect their eyes and stimulate labor. In the traditional Indian medicine system of Ayurveda, it's celebrated as the king of oils for its ability to detoxify the body and soothe inflammation. It was so vital that in the 20th century, Edgar Cayce, the famed sleeping prophet, recommended castor oil packs in over 500 of his psychic readings for ailments ranging from liver congestion to epilepsy, bringing this ancient folk remedy into the modern American consciousness. And as you've heard, it was even an indispensable tool for US soldiers in World War II, a dual-purpose remedy that could heal a soldier's wound just as reliably as it could keep a tank's engine from seizing in the harshest combat conditions. This isn't just a history lesson, it's proof of a legacy of a natural substance so versatile and effective that it has endured through ages of human history. But here is the critical twist that elevates this remedy from a historical curiosity to a modern-day revolution. When this ancient oil is combined with one of the simplest, cheapest, and most effective pH balancing agents on the planet, baking soda, its healing potential is amplified exponentially. Together, this powerhouse duo forms a remedy that works on a fundamentally different principle than most modern treatments. It doesn't just mask symptoms. It addresses the root causes of our suffering: chronic inflammation, cellular acidity, poor circulation, and a stagnant lymphatic system. We are about to embark on a journey to explore how this simple combination is helping real people, just like you, find relief they thought was impossible. We will hear from a former firefighter who battled a decade of sleepless nights caused by a swollen prostate and finally found peace. We will meet a 67-year-old man who, after resigning himself to a life of baldness, watched in astonishment as new hair began to fill in. We'll discover how a retired carpenter with crippling knee pain was able to climb stairs again for the first time in years. These are not fairy tales, they are testimonials to the profound intelligence of nature. So, if you are tired of solutions that overpromise and underdeliver, if you are ready to explore a path to wellness that is gentle, affordable, and deeply empowering, then you are in the right place. The information you are about to receive is more than just a collection of home remedies. It's a forgotten blueprint for partnering with your body's innate ability to heal. Prepare to see the contents of your medicine cabinet in a whole new light. To truly appreciate the magic of this combination, we must first understand the unique genius of each component. This isn't about blind faith in a folk remedy. It's about understanding the tangible, verifiable science that makes this duo so remarkably effective. Let's begin with castor oil, nature's anti-inflammatory masterpiece. It is derived from the seeds of the Ricinus communis plant, but not all castor oil is created equal. The most potent therapeutic grade oil is always organic, cold-pressed, and hexane-free. Organic ensures the plant was grown without toxic pesticides. Cold-pressed means the oil was extracted using mechanical pressure without high heat, preserving its delicate fatty acids and vital nutrients. Hexane-free is crucial, as hexane is a chemical solvent used in cheaper extraction methods, and its residues can be toxic. When you choose a high-quality oil, you are choosing purity and power. The undisputed star of castor oil is a rare and remarkable fatty acid called ricinoleic acid. It constitutes nearly 90% of the oil's volume and is the source of most of its healing properties. When absorbed through the skin, ricinoleic acid performs several critical functions. It acts as a potent anti-inflammatory, calming the body's overactive inflammatory response at a cellular level. It also reduces pain by lowering levels of substance P, a key neurotransmitter for pain signals. Furthermore, it stimulates the lymphatic system, your body's garbage disposal network, helping to clear metabolic waste, toxins, and inflammatory byproducts. Finally, it enhances circulation by encouraging the production of nitric oxide, which widens blood vessels and delivers a fresh supply of oxygen and nutrients to damaged tissues. Now, enter baking soda, the humble pH balancer. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is far more than a leavening agent. It is a powerful alkaline substance. Our bodies function optimally in a slightly alkaline state, but the modern lifestyle often pushes our internal environment toward acidity, which is a breeding ground for inflammation and disease. Baking soda helps to neutralize this acidity, creating a more balanced environment where cells can function properly and healing can occur. It also has natural antimicrobial and antiseptic properties, helping to soothe irritated skin and draw out impurities. When you combine castor oil and baking soda, you create a perfect therapeutic partnership. Imagine a painful swollen joint. The area is acidic and inflamed. The baking soda comes in first, neutralizing the acidity and calming the surface level irritation. This creates a more favorable environment for the castor oil to penetrate deeply. The castor oil then goes to work on a more profound level, reducing the deep-seated inflammation, stimulating lymphatic drainage, and boosting blood flow. It's an alchemical union. The baking soda opens the door, and the castor oil walks through to do the deep restorative work. For any man over the age of 50, the word prostate can be a source of quiet dread. It begins subtly. You find yourself needing to go to the bathroom a little more often. The stream isn't quite as strong as it used to be. But then, the nights begin. You wake up at 2 a.m., then again at 4 a.m., your sleep shattered by an urgent, non-negotiable call from your bladder. This condition, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, affects more than half of all men in their 60s. The prostate gland enlarges and squeezes the urethra, making it difficult to urinate freely. The social anxiety it creates can be crippling, and far too many men suffer in silence, believing it's an unavoidable tax on aging. The conventional route often involves medications with a host of side effects, including dizziness, fatigue, and a decline in libido. It often feels like a trade-off where you have to sacrifice one part of your vitality to manage another. The castor oil pack offers a fundamentally different approach. It doesn't force a chemical change. It supports your body's own healing mechanisms. The warmth and the penetrating power of the ricinoleic acid work together to address the root causes of BPH, inflammation, and poor circulation in the pelvic region. The pack acts as a gentle, non-invasive decongestant for this entire area, stimulating blood flow and lymphatic drainage to relieve the swelling that puts pressure on the bladder and urethra. Here is exactly how to perform this soothing and effective ritual. Consistency is your greatest ally. Aim for 3 to 5 times a week. You'll need high-quality castor oil, a piece of wool or cotton flannel, a piece of plastic wrap, an old towel, and a heating pad. First, prepare your space by laying the towel down to protect surfaces. Saturate the flannel with a generous amount of castor oil so it's soaked but not dripping. Lie down comfortably and place the oily flannel directly onto your lower abdomen, from your navel down to your pubic bone. Cover the flannel with the plastic wrap, then place the heating pad on top, set to a comfortable medium warmth. Now simply relax for 45 to 60 minutes. This is your time to rest and let the warmth and the oil do their work. Afterward, you can store the pack in a glass container in the refrigerator for reuse. Let's revisit Sam, the 58-year-old retired firefighter. For over a decade, his nights were a portrait of weakness. The constant up and down to the bathroom had left him in a state of perpetual exhaustion. He was skeptical when I first suggested this oily rag remedy, but desperation is a powerful motivator. He followed the protocol diligently. The first week, the urge was slightly less frantic. By the end of the second week, he slept for a 4-hour stretch. It was in the third week that the breakthrough came. He went to bed at 10 p.m. and woke up to the sun streaming through his window at 6 a.m. He had slept for 8 uninterrupted hours. He told me later, his voice thick with emotion, "It felt like being resurrected. I didn't just get a night's sleep, I got my life back." His energy returned. The fog in his brain lifted, and the man who once faced fires without flinching finally won the quiet battle that had been raging inside his own body. But prostate health is not the only area where men find themselves fighting a quiet battle against the perceived inevitabilities of aging. Let's switch gears and talk about something that affects a man's confidence just as deeply: hair loss. It starts with a few extra strands on your pillow or in the shower drain. Then you catch a glimpse of your scalp under harsh fluorescent lighting and see more of it than you used to. Your hairline seems to be staging a slow, strategic retreat. For many men, hair loss is not just a cosmetic issue. It's a visceral reminder of aging, a loss of virility and identity. It can chip away at your self-esteem, making you feel older and less vital than you are. The primary driver of male pattern baldness is that potent hormone, DHT, dihydrotestosterone. An enzyme in your body called 5-alpha reductase converts testosterone into this much more powerful form. DHT then binds to receptors in your hair follicles, initiating a process called miniaturization. It literally shrinks and chokes the follicle, restricting blood flow and nutrient delivery until the follicle can no longer produce a healthy, thick strand of hair. It weakens, and eventually it dies. Conventional treatments like minoxidil, Rogaine, work by increasing blood flow but can cause scalp irritation and an initial alarming shedding phase. Finasteride, Propecia, works by blocking the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, but as a systemic drug, it carries the risk of serious side effects, including the very same sexual health issues men seek to avoid. This is where a targeted, natural approach with castor oil becomes so compelling. It works on multiple fronts to counteract DHT's destructive campaign. The ricinoleic acid not only boosts circulation, bringing a rush of nourishing blood to the scalp, but it also has been shown to have an inhibitory effect on certain inflammatory pathways that contribute to follicle damage. To enhance this, you can create a powerful hair growth ritual. Take a tablespoon or 2 of warm castor oil and massage it deeply into your scalp for 5 to 10 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week. The massage itself is crucial. It mechanically stimulates the follicles and helps the oil penetrate. For an extra boost, add a few drops of rosemary essential oil. Rosemary has also been clinically shown to inhibit DHT and stimulate hair growth, in some studies as effectively as minoxidil, but without the side effects. This combination is a 1-2 punch against hair loss. Let me tell you about James. At 42, he was a master of using humor to deflect his insecurities, but the rapid thinning of his hair was no laughing matter. He had tried everything: expensive miracle shampoos, biotin supplements. He even priced out a hair transplant before the 5-figure cost sent him reeling. When I suggested castor oil, he laughed. What's next? A magic potion from a fairy tale. But behind the sarcasm, I saw the familiar flicker of frustration. He decided to try it, mostly to prove me wrong. The first few weeks were messy. He complained about the stickiness, calling it motor oil for my head, but he stuck with it. Around week 5, something shifted. He noticed significantly less hair in the shower drain. A week later, running his hands through his hair, it felt denser. The real validation came 3 months in. His barber, who knew nothing of his experiment, paused mid-cut, held up a mirror to the back of his head and said, "Man, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Your hair is looking thicker than I've seen it in years." That was the moment James became a believer. Not in magic, but in a patient, natural process that was finally giving his body what it needed to fight back. The body's interconnectedness means that healing in one area often unlocks wellness in another, which brings us to the very core of our physical freedom, our joints. There is a specific kind of pain that turns your world small. It's the creak in your knees when you stand up, the grinding in your shoulder when you reach for something on a high shelf, the searing ache in your lower back that makes a simple task like tying your shoes an ordeal. This chronic joint and muscle pain does more than just hurt. It rewires your brain. You stop wanting to go for walks, you turn down invitations to play with your grandkids. You avoid hobbies you once loved, like gardening or woodworking, because you are constantly anticipating the painful consequences. The standard response is to reach for a bottle of NSAIDs, ibuprofen, naproxen, which offer temporary relief by blocking pain signals. But this relief comes at a steep price. Long-term use is notoriously hard on the body, linked to stomach ulcers, kidney strain, and an increased risk of serious cardiovascular events. They are a chemical mask, silencing the alarm bells without ever putting out the fire of inflammation. A warm castor oil pack or even a direct massage works on a completely different principle. It aims to put the fire out. When you apply the warm oil to a painful joint, the heat provides immediate comfort and helps to drive the oil's therapeutic compounds deep into the tissue. The ricinoleic acid gets to work, reducing the production of inflammatory prostaglandins and substance P, thereby calming both the inflammation and the pain signals. The increased blood flow flushes out the inflammatory waste products and brings in a fresh supply of healing nutrients. For a more targeted approach, you can create a thick paste by mixing castor oil with a bit of baking soda and apply it directly to a particularly sore spot, like an arthritic knuckle or a tender knee, covering it with a bandage for a few hours. The baking soda helps to neutralize local acidity, enhancing the anti-inflammatory effect. Think of Mark, the retired carpenter. His hands, which had built beautiful cabinets and sturdy homes, were gnarled with arthritis. His knees, after decades of kneeling on hard floors, screamed with every step. He was living on a steady diet of painkillers, and his days were defined by what he couldn't do. He was deeply skeptical of this oil-rubbing idea. But the first time he applied a warm castor oil pack to his knees, he admitted the deep, penetrating warmth was more soothing than his electric heating pad had ever been. He made it a nightly ritual. In the third week, something incredible happened. He was walking up the stairs to his bedroom and realized halfway up that he wasn't clinging to the railing. He stopped, went back down, and walked up again, slowly, deliberately, pain-free. It was the first time in 10 years. That small moment of freedom changed everything. He started tinkering in his workshop again. He took his wife for a walk in the park. He wasn't just managing his pain anymore. He was reclaiming his life. This journey of reclamation often leads us inward, to the very center of our well-being, our gut. If your joints are the framework of your body, your digestive system is its engine. And when that engine is sputtering, everything suffers. For millions, life is a constant battle with digestive distress. It's the uncomfortable bloating that makes you feel 6 months pregnant after a healthy salad. It's the chronic constipation that leaves you feeling heavy, toxic, and sluggish. It's the food fear that develops when you can't predict which meal will send you running for the bathroom or leave you doubled over with cramps. It's the quiet embarrassment of having to discreetly unbutton your pants under the dinner table just to find some relief. The aisles of the pharmacy are a testament to our collective digestive misery, filled with harsh stimulant laxatives that force a bowel movement by irritating the intestinal walls, creating dependency and disrupting the natural gut rhythm. They are a short-term fix that often creates a long-term problem. Castor oil offers a smarter, more restorative path. When taken internally, and this must be done cautiously, starting with a very small dose, like a half teaspoon of food-grade oil, and ideally under the guidance of a health professional. Its ricinoleic acid directly stimulates the smooth muscle of the intestinal walls, encouraging a natural, complete peristaltic wave. It doesn't irritate, it activates. But perhaps the gentler and more holistic approach is the external castor oil pack applied to the abdomen. This practice is a cornerstone of detoxification protocols for a reason. It reduces gut inflammation, calms spasms, and by stimulating the lymphatic tissue that lines the gut, known as GALT, it enhances the immune function and detoxification of your entire digestive tract. It helps your body do its job better. Let's talk about my friend Lisa. She was a vibrant, energetic woman, but she had a secret battle. No matter how cleanly she ate, she was perpetually bloated and uncomfortable. She felt disconnected from her own body. She had tried every probiotic, every enzyme, every herbal tea with a mystical-sounding name. Nothing worked. When I suggested castor oil, her reaction was priceless. "You mean that awful stuff my mom used to threaten me with as a kid?" But her frustration outweighed her skepticism. She started with a single teaspoon of high-quality food-grade castor oil in a glass of warm lemon water in the morning. A few hours later, she sent me a text that was just a string of wide-eyed emojis. What just happened? This actually worked. For the first time in years, she felt light. Not crampy, not jittery, just light. Encouraged, she started doing abdominal castor oil packs 3 times a week. She called it her gut spa. She would lie down for 45 minutes with the warm pack on her belly, breathe deeply, and just let her body reset. The results were profound. Her digestion settled into a reliable rhythm. The bloating vanished. But more than that, she said she felt a sense of inner peace, as if the constant tension in her core had finally melted away. Her body was finally at ease. This isn't an isolated story. My own sister Cecilia battled severe gut issues for most of her adult life. When she finally tried the castor oil, her transformation was just as remarkable. The fear around food disappeared, replaced by a freedom she hadn't felt in decades. It reminds us that sometimes the most profound solutions are the ones we've dismissed for being too simple. This sense of inner peace brings us to the final and perhaps most crucial benefit of this incredible oil. Its effect not on a specific organ, but on your entire state of being. Let's talk about stress. Not the healthy pressure that motivates you, but the chronic, corrosive anxiety that defines modern life. It's the feeling of being wired but tired, where your body is screaming for rest, but your mind is running a relentless marathon of worries, to-do lists, and past regrets. It manifests as a tight chest, a clenched jaw, shallow breathing, and a feeling of being constantly on high alert. Here's a piece of physiology you may not know. A significant portion of this stress response is controlled by your vagus nerve. This massive nerve wanders from your brain down through your torso, connecting to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. It is the main switch for your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. When the vagus nerve is toned and active, you feel calm, connected, and safe. When it's underactive, you get stuck in fight or flight mode. One of the most powerful ways to gently stimulate and tone the vagus nerve is through warmth and slow, mindful massage on the abdomen, precisely what you are doing with a castor oil pack or a simple abdominal massage. The practice of slowly massaging warm castor oil over your chest and belly in a quiet space before bed is a potent ritual for down-regulating your nervous system. The warmth, the scent, the slow circular motions, it all sends a powerful signal to your brain via the vagus nerve. You are safe. You can let go. You can rest now. Try it tonight. 30 minutes before bed, turn off the screens. Warm a tablespoon of castor oil between your hands. Lie down and begin to slowly massage it onto your abdomen in a clockwise motion. Then move up to your chest, around your heart. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in for a count of 5. Hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly for a count of 7. With each exhale, feel your shoulders drop, your jaw unclench, and the tension in your chest dissolve. What you are doing is more than just applying oil. You are performing a manual reset on your nervous system. Many people describe the feeling as a profound melting, a peaceful transition from the chaos of the day to a state of deep tranquility that allows sleep to come easily and naturally. From relieving a swollen prostate and regrowing hair to silencing aching joints, harmonizing a troubled gut, and calming a frantic mind, the journey we've taken shows the incredible versatility of these humble ingredients. You have heard the stories, you understand the science, and you have the practical steps. Now, the power is in your hands. The path to reclaiming your health doesn't require a miracle. It requires intention, consistency, and a little bit of trust in the profound wisdom that nature has been offering us all along. Your body knows how to heal. It's time to give it the tools to do so.